she knows every word of every song that's on these recordings that I've done.
Which is more poems by heart than most college graduates.
And her favorite is The Wealthy Window Line by Charles Edward Carroll.
Other questions?
I think
Yes.
Could you say something about how a poem transforms to a melody in your work?
people in the back of the audience here that wants to know how poem transforms into a melody in her songs.
I think I can say this in this room without any embarrassment or explanation, but the poems did speak to me. And I would just, and they spoke to me and they spoke through me. How's that? It was interesting, the Jerry Manley Hopkins piece that I put to music is Spring and Fall, To a Young Child. And I read that poem 20 times before I really understood what it was about for me. But I cried the first time I read it. And what Heart Heard of, Ghost Guest, is a line in the poem. And it's exactly how it affected me. I didn't know what it was about, but I knew it was something profound and it was something tragic. And then it took several readings for it to really speak to me. It was speaking to me, but I didn't understand what it was saying, I guess. And so that's how the process worked for me. It's just I had to really internalize the poems on every level, the language and the sentiment of the poem, before I could respond to it musically.
Earl?
You asked me questions? Yes.
I'll spare the bonehead questions that I didn't ask you. You're a member of the New York State Council for the Arts. Dane is the former chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts. I was wondering if you would comment on the current state of both state, local, and federal government support for the arts, which would include poetry, but more principally music. And talk about arts programming and education, outreach in schools,
Right.
where poetry starts, frankly, for a lot of children, including your daughter.
Well, 3 years ago, Governor Spitzer, before he really fucked up and disappeared, deserted us and we were disappointed us all. I said the fuck word earlier today, and I think that was appropriate. Because he knew what those bastards on Wall Street were doing. And he might have brought it to everyone's attention sooner, but anyway. He appointed me to the New York State Council on the Arts. And I've watched our budget go from $55 million to the new proposal that Governor Patterson is laying on us is 25. So that means death to many small organizations, and it's going to cripple our agency. And I'm sure, Dana has so much more to say about this, but the state is an emergency. It's a state of emergency for us right now. We have a meeting in 2 weeks, and we only have $6 million to give away. It's really, really, really sad and difficult. And I got an email actually from the chairman that said that New York might be closing its emergency shutdown of the government without the budget, a balanced budget, which means people have to work for free.
This is Natalie's panel, so I don't want to, so I'll just say 2 or 3 sentences. The recession has severely affected the budgets of almost every state arts organization. Many states would like to shut them down, but the NEA has made sure that if they shut them down, they get no federal money. And so their greed outstrips their parsimony. It's my bet, I can't, guarantee this. I suspect that there's going to be a budget freeze in Washington, and then on top of that there'll be a rescission, which is say they'll freeze it and they'll take away 5%. So my guess would be, at best, you'll have flat federal budgets. Most likely, the Obama budget will have about a 5% reduction. On top of that, private spending went down by almost private donations, which is the thing that really drives the American arts, went down by about 40% last year. This year it's coming up, at least before these recent market shenanigans, to something approaching flat versus 2 years ago. But the situation is really that there is, if you add those all together, I don't know, probably about 15%, 20% drop in total artistic spending.
Makes sense?
Catherine?
Listening to Leave Your Sleep, I felt some real affinities with Carpenter's Daughter, and I'm wondering if you felt if that was intentional between these two projects.
Well, I love American and British folk music, and I felt that there is such a strong ballad tradition in both those forms of music. So I thought I was creating new folk music with old words. It was really enjoyable, and one of my greatest pleasures would be if 50 years after I'm dead and gone, somebody sings "If No One Ever Marries Me," and when it's asked, "Where's that from?" So I was like, "That's some folk song." As anonymous, it's just a folk song. I would love it to become part of the landscape, part of the culture, and have nothing to do with me. Just live out there, have its own life.
Well, Natalie, we cannot thank you